Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we have got round 4 of the Zwift Racing League. We're in Yorkshire, it's a tour of Chewett Well, and we've got 2 laps of a scratch race, basically meaning that all of the points are on the finishing line, so first one to the end gets the most points basically. Now I picked this race as one that I thought I could potentially do very well in and even compete for the win, so I've been training very hard this week. I've been doing my zone 2s, I've been doing my threshold training, but most importantly I have been doing my stretching.
You know, stretching is so important. For example, because of my big legs and karate, I can do the splits no problem.
And of course, in my head, that's what my legs look like, but in reality, they do not. Anyway, back to the racing. So this one starts off pretty fast, to be honest with you. And everyone gets away as they normally do. But we've got a first little incline coming up, which is going to be a little tester. And I mean, even before this race, I felt like this first hill was going to cause a pretty big split in the group, because there seems to be quite a big difference between, I would say, like the first maybe 20 or 30 riders and sort of the kind of back 50. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there does seem to be like quite a big gap in sort of performance, and the time differences on the last, or well, especially the first 2 races. So yeah, all I wanted to do here, and you probably guessed what I'm going to say, is stay with the front group. I don't want to lead anyone out here. I just want to stay in the pack but near the front. I want to make sure that if there is a split that's going to go at any point, that I'm there. And I felt pretty comfortable at this early stage. Heart rate's not too bad. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, my heart rate was, touching the 180s, late 170s, 180s, kind of, early on in the race. So my fitness, as you can see, I mean, yeah, it's creeping up a little bit, but this is around my threshold heart rate level. And even though I'm kind of doing the 300, just over 300 watts, I'm pretty comfortable at this point as we come through the barrier on the way down to the next little incline. And this is a very punchy course. You've got pretty much, hardly any flat at all. This is the second incline here. Once again, I'm not feeling too bad, putting out quite a few watts, and there's already been, as you can see, kind of quite a big split in the group already. So I'm doing pretty perfectly at the moment, if I don't say so myself. Staying with the front pack. There's a couple that are sort of trying to go off the front there. Now, the teams that I needed to watch for this week were Rhino, as always, Wahoo Cole. Those were kind of the main ones that I had in my head were going to do something. And as we come to now the third kind of little climb of the course, I've lost kind of the front wheels a little bit, but I'm feeling like it's all going to come back together. So I'm not actually too worried at this stage, but I'm still kicking out, over 300 watts pretty much. And it is very steep, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a gap appearing between myself and that front group, which is definitely not what I had planned in at this stage. But I'm not panicking too much, even though my face is telling the story like it's just the most painful thing in the whole world. I mean, I knew this course was going to be attritional, but I didn't quite realise that I wouldn't be able to do what's just happened, basically. The front group has gone, and I'm sitting in 19th, 20th position now with a couple of Wahoo riders and a Rhino rider, and that is not what I expected at all. Now, whether or not it was me trying to kind of save energy and thinking that the pack was going to come back at some point, I'm not really sure, but that was 100% an error on my part, and it does sort of come back together a little bit here, and we're kind of in this middle section, this middle kind of pack here, not quite the main bunch, but not quite the front group. So in a way that I'm pretty hopeful it's going to all come back together. But as we come to the top of this last little incline, they're already kind of 23, 24 seconds ahead. And that's almost game over, as far as getting back on. I mean, there's really not much kind of downhill. And, as we come into the second lap now, it's gone up to 31 seconds, and this group is not big enough. It's not big enough. No one's working enough, and that includes me as well. I don't mind to say that. But we're just not going to do it. And I'll be honest, I was absolutely gutted. at this point. Like, really, really disheartened. I actually kind of, I was never going to give up, but I really thought that I had this race in the bag.
Nothing! You've got nothing! Nothing!
I was really happy with the training that I'd done, and it was my kind of a course. I think I've done this course kind of 3 or 4 times this year already in B races, and I didn't do too badly at all. So I thought, well, you know, fitness is improving, maybe I should be fighting for the win. And yeah, I'm fighting for 15th place at the moment, which is not great. So we found ourselves with a little group here. Although, you know, I might be a bit disheartened that I'm not winning the race at this point, there's still a race within a race. That's right, I said it. I can still, you know, finish top of this little group here, and, you know, coming 15th, 14th in a race of almost 90 competitors is pretty good.
Pathetic.
Is it?
At the third stroke.
So we got one of my teammates here, Carl, with us, who did an absolutely sterling job. Bit of a diesel on the flats, actually, Carl. So yeah, he did a good job, and we're, as I say, like almost halfway round the second and final lap here. 3 Wahola Coal riders, a couple of others, one from Rhino, one from another team, WLRCC, is it? So yeah, I knew this was going to be the point in the race where it splits again, just as we're coming down sort of the main decline to the steepest incline on the course, this one here. And someone makes a break for it, and yeah, I kind of feel good enough just to chase him down, really. He then snapped. It was a bit like me, really. That's what I normally do, snap going up these, but kept going a little bit. And then there's a couple from Wahola Coal. I'm just going to sit on their wheel for a little bit. At this point, my teammate Carl has dropped back 11 seconds. So he's kind of out of the game a little bit, but still a superb effort from him. It was good seeing him most of the way around there. And yeah, now it's a case of it's kind of a 3 versus 1 kind of scenario here. Now, I don't really want to do much of the pulling. I don't really mind if you know, if these guys want to pull, because I've got a teammate behind, so there's absolutely no reason for me to do any sort of work on the front here at all, especially when there's 3 of them and, as I say, one of my teammates behind. But look, what the hell am I doing? I'm on the front. I don't know why I'm doing this. I did take a turn on the front, and someone from a different team now sort of goes for it. I chase him down and then decide that I'm not doing the last bit of work to get on, because we are coming up to the end of the race here. And yeah, unfortunately, Carl doesn't get back on, and it's just kind of the 5 of us, 3 from one team, me from Rafa, and then one other as well. So an interesting end to the race. Now, I would normally back myself in these situations as well. I'd saved a little bit of energy. As you can see, I'm only doing 140 watts, which is not much at all. But yeah, I kind of fancied myself to for the sprint here. I've got a half decent sprint, but so you've got here the guys just launched. I do my best to get on here. So Tonkin, then Smith, and then myself, overtaking Smith, and now I'm sat down, really putting the power down. I'm hurting at this point. I'm in a lot of pain. But unfortunately, it's not quite enough, and I finished in 15th position on the day. Rafa finished 4th, which was good. Carl managed to come pretty high up as well, which was good. Yeah, and don't really know what to say. So 4th's a pretty good position ending for the team. That's the Zwift power results on screen there. So 15th. Net power of, normalised power of 271, which is not bad. Still, my 20 minutes is a little bit off at only 3.2. And we are still 4th in the table. A couple of points behind Tukas, who have jumped up there. So still all to play for. Really enjoyable race. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.